Wow! Ladies and gentlemen, I am back here again on this platform of talking about the Ascension energy. And boy, did it hit or what? Because see, the last video that I made, I think it was, my goodness, I think it was literally last year, in the beginning of last year. Or not, I'm sorry, end of last year when I just moved here in DC. And you guys were requesting literally for the past 6 months, when are you going to do an Ascension video? When are you going to... See, I can't do an Ascension video if something has not happened profound. Only when it does is when I can actually tap into it and talk about it to you guys. And when it finally hit, and then I noticed this wave. Yeah, it's here. And the specific date that I noticed was November 3rd. November 3rd or 4th. From that point onwards to now, oh my God, it has been building up because first of all, from November to literally April of next year, is a major, profound, not even April, I would say February of next year is a major, profound transition of this Ascension energy. You can think of it through planetary placements and transit, or you can just think of the natural process energy taking place. Because obviously, as you know, Saturn is about to leave the sign of Scorpio, enter into the sign of Sagittarius on around January 19th or 20th. And as you know, when a planet transitions from one sign to the other, after 29th degree and below 1 degree is one of the most powerful placements for a planet. Like anybody born with planets after 29th degree to below 1 degree, those are the most powerful planets in your life. Those are the planets that will always be there for you as the most powerful force. And because Saturn, which is transitioning from one sign to the other, is a karma karka planet, meaning significators of karma, actions, the actions of entire world, and all the people is being judged and transformed. Why transform? Because Scorpio is that one placement where Saturn triggers. Saturn goes down to the lowest point and triggers the upward direction. And what I noticed since November 3rd, that over 75% of the people who are like getting career consultations from me, over 75% were either laid off or are going to be laid off. Now, this could be due to Donald Trump's presidency, which I doubt, because it wasn't decided. This could be due to the interest rate that are being raised by the federal government, because mostly I was seeing, obviously, people in the United States, but also India. At the same time, the real estate market is coming down. So I'm seeing so many people who are being laid off from real estate companies. I'm seeing so many people being laid off from like even entertainment companies. But that's the major theme right now. And especially the theme of December, middle of November, okay? From middle of November, like 17th, 18th, to all the way to December 23rd, I think the theme is fear. People are running in fear. People are running in panic. And this panic and fear is not really coming from what's happening in your personal life. Because so many people get laid off, there isn't this type of panic that I've seen. This is coming because I told you guys, every year, this energy is going to get more and more intense. This energy is going to get more and more intense from 2015 all the way to 2022. And this ascension process is to bring fear into people. And how I know this? Well, I followed this people for so long, ever since I got into this ascension. I've mentioned their names, and most of you kind of sometimes ridicule them and don't take them seriously, and you think it's Goo Gaga, so I won't even mention them. But this is the time, this is the energy that is bringing fear from within. The fear is coming from the earth. And the fear is hitting you. And this fear is not to scare you. This fear is to change you. And to change you into something that will be a whole lot better than what you are right now. Because especially since November 3rd or 4th, I'm getting so many emails as well from my website. Like, I just want to commit suicide. My life is not going anywhere. My life is shit. My life is this. I just want to end myself. And so when I saw this pattern going of fear, because the fear is so much, the anxiety is so much that you're willing to end your life, which if you do, it'll be the worst thing you can do. Because you'll be suffering more in afterlife than right now. So remember that. You think suicide is some reset button or some way to, end your suffering? Universe is far more smarter than you. Remember that. Far more smarter than you. If you cannot handle the suffering in this life, you are definitely not going to be deserving happiness after life. Because life is a gift given by universe. If you reject that gift, then what's the universe is going to do? It's going to reject you. But seeing these patterns and how fear is building among people clearly shows that this is, and it's so true, man, it's so true. Whatever this couple said, literally 6 months ago, about this month, it's happening. So people need to transform and change through fear. See, fear is not there to put you in fear. Fear is something that you are transmitting the signal as. But the signal itself is not fear. The signal itself is that you need a major transformation. If you don't do it, fear is going to automatically come in. So when it's like when everybody's asleep and you're awake, let's say even spiritually, or let's say everybody's brainwashed and you're not, and let's say you're in a jail, and the door of the jail is open for anybody to walk through. And you see that because you're not brainwashed and you're awake. And you're like, oh my God, I can actually escape. But everybody else, all the prisoners around you are asleep and they're holding you back. Oh no, how are you leaving? You can't leave. And you're like, what are you doing? You can escape too. And they don't want to. And this was a great analogy that David Icke gave actually when I went to Brooklyn to see him. And that's the thing that is happening. People who are in fear, who are feeling this anxiety, this fear that, how am I going to do this? How am I going to be paying the bill next week? How am I going to be doing this? Or how my marriage is going to survive? The fear is there because this group of people, the energy is hitting him in so much that it's trying to awaken them and tell them that, look, you are awake. Now, if you are awake, you have to go through that door. And fear, the energy of fear that is here through some entities, it's stopping you to escaping that door. And the way to escape and go through that door is to realize that some of you, and I'm going to repeat this over and over again, some of you are not here to be lawyers, stockbrokers, real estate agents, entertainment professionals, policemen, IT professionals. That's like your old identity that you were pursuing when you were sleeping. Now that you're awake, it's a completely different ballgame. Now that you're awake, you must go out and heal people. You must go out and serve people. And you must become a light being, meaning a light worker. And it's so hard to grasp with people. Like, people do not want to accept it. That's the problem. People just do not want to accept it, and that's the problem. You will keep going through this. Like, I remember 3 or 4 people just in the last 4 months. I advised them that, hey, you will make a great Reiki healer. I advised 2 people, look, you will do very well if you went towards natural healing, holistic healing. I advise people, you will do tarot. You should go into tarot and try to help people, especially with their depression and relationship, or depression coming through relationship. So they're like emailing me back, you told me this, I'm not feeling it. What else can I do? Is there something else? I'm like, okay, so tell me this. Ever since I told you this, what did you do? So what did you do when I told you this in your consultation, that you should go into this? Well, nothing. And I'm like, that's the problem. Why haven't you gone and met somebody that I advised you to meet? Why haven't you gone and sat in a school, holistic school, tarot teacher, and asked them questions? What is this about? What is your mind thinking when you're in that energy? And when they finally went, sat, spoke to students, spoke to people, they're like, oh my God. Yes, I actually loved it when I went. I'm so glad I actually went and sat there for 1 day, and now I'm pursuing this. So you have to take action. The fear, the solution, the remedy to fear is to take action towards your destiny. Because right now, especially with this transitioning of Saturn, and I'm going to discuss this in my transit video on my second channel that I will upload tomorrow for December, is that this is the final dip that Saturn is taking in that water of Scorpio. Saturn has been bathing in Scorpio. Now he's about to take the final dip and then come out in the year of Sagittarius. This is why when Saturn is immersed in those last degrees, it's all about fear. But that fear is to give you more hope, because when it enters Sagittarius, you're going to see this major change in the world's perspective. It'll be more about philosophy, spirituality, not even religion, like wanting to just have a broader horizon of life. Like how people are dealing with the Dakota pipeline, which this issue is happening in US. From this issues to all the currency mess that is happening in India, this is gonna, suddenly people will realize this broader perspective about life, including the people who are against certain things and are polluting this planet and doing the wrong things. They'll be getting a broader sense of her, expansion, because Sagittarius is about expansion. Saturn represents the discipline, structure, and the sacrifices that needs to be made. The duty that is gonna be needed to understand your broader self is going to be hitting very strongly to people. So this is why this ascension process, and remember, this is only going to get more intense. If people do not transform, if you're going to be stuck in that regular job that you're not happy with, yet you want to be stuck in it because that's the only thing that you know, then there's nobody else to save you and help you unless you know how to save yourself. Because like, imagine this. If there was no cell phones around, okay? And you were just on this old early 19th century phone, and you were comfortable with it, you were used to it, and suddenly I brought you an iPhone. I'm like, you know what? I think if you're building these phones, here, why don't you build something like this, where people can touch it with their finger, people can watch movies and do this. You're like, you must be on LSD. You should get off of it. Because of the fact you have not experienced anything like this, and your limited perspective is so small that it's hard for you to really see, oh, I'm capable of doing this. I'm capable of actually building an iPhone. And not just a rotary phone, sorry. The rotary phone that I'm dealing with this right now. This is what this process is to completely give you a sense of your true self, this ascension process, that you can't even grasp it, that I am capable of doing this. And that's the problem that comes in. That your image, your true self, your true nature is something which is so pure, so advanced, so clear, that you being so clogged, like a clogged drain, when you see that, you think it's complete nonsense. You're like, oh, I can't see this. I can't see myself doing this. Oh, no. And the minute you say that, you should say this again to yourself. No, I will never do this. I'll never become that. I'll never try to do this. And then look at that. Oh. And then think about this analogy. Yeah. I'm talking through a silk or cotton wire with a tin can. And yet there's this something called iPhone, which is made up of the same parts that are discovered right now on Earth. Wow, okay. Maybe I should think twice about my rejection. Because especially when I saw like how, especially now that the interest rate in US is up, majority of the real estate companies are laying off people. Because I've done literally so many real estate people who are like in panic, like, oh my God, they suddenly let us go. What should I do now? What is my destiny? I'm like, you're thinking about this stuff now. And you know exactly who you are watching me. You think, see, that's the problem with most of us, including me, where I wanted to know myself. I wanted to know who I was. What should I do? in my most shittiest of hour, in my most darkest of hour, is when I'm like, okay, what else is there? Why does this happen? Because we get so comfortable in our life that, oh, this is who we are. I'm a loan officer. I'll be selling loans and making money and commission, and bam, I can buy them Mercedes Benz, and then I'll expand my business and this happen, and boom, pff, clear. Everything goes to shit. And then you're panicking. Then you're either looking for some another mortgage company, or you're looking for some spiritual guru to help you like a magic pill, or you come and get a consultation from me to see what's next. Well, why didn't you do this when you were at your happiest? Because the reason why you should try to know who you are but at your happiest, so you can extend that happy moment. You know, like when you get your bonus during Christmas, or when you get that first paycheck from your job that you just got after trying and trying for an interview, that ecstasy feeling, you should be like, I want to maintain this, because this could be taken away from me any moment. That's the moment you should be looking for understanding your destiny, your purpose of birth, and what career should you do. Because this wave is going to keep hitting you. It's going to keep hitting people. And it's like, the problem is also this. I get people who are at the age of 45. I get people who are 47 going through this panic, this confusion, and sudden realization of, who am I? Like literally, they're asking. I've had like financial brokers who have been fired, laid off, and they're like, what in the world am I supposed to do in my life? Who am I? I'm like, you're asking this now at 50, at 49, when you should have been asking this when you were 18 or 16 or 20. And that's where it becomes like, you know, this catch-22. I'm like, well, this is what I really see your chart doing. And the greatest potential is here. The problem becomes, you've got teenage kids, you've got a wife who's a housewife, you are the only breadwinner, and now you're trying to find out who you are, which is completely different, completely opposite of what you have been pursuing. So I'm like, okay, well, here's what I'm suggesting you, but this is gonna take another 3-4 years of studying, 2 or 3 years of dedication, going back to 0 and building it to 100 again. Can you do it? It's like, well, I don't think so. I've got responsibility. I'm like, okay, well then, don't look for yourself. Don't look for your destiny. Because now you're coming too late to look for your destiny. The only people I think who should understand this ascension process, who are really just wanting to take action and change. Otherwise, most of you are going to waste your time. Because if you want to be stuck in the same routine that is going to throw you back out, then I have nothing to say. Like, imagine how many times you get a job, you get fired. Okay? Because, and the reason why I'm bringing this scenario of job up, because that is what people are panicked about now, scared about now. Oh, he's president, and this is interest rates are going up, mortgage is coming down, currency is being changed, and all these jobs are being let go. The question becomes, why do you keep going through the same cycle over? Because you got a job at the age of 25, you got fired. You got another job at 26, you went for 10 years, you got fired. It's like, you know the pattern. As soon as you enter into a company and you sit on that cubicle, you automatically know the end result is that you are going to be emptying that cubicle at one point. And yet still, you are completely asleep. As soon as you sit on the cubicle, it's like a VR video game. You're absolutely into it. You're going into a roller coaster, and within your seat, you are like falling on the floor because it's so much fun. But when the video game is over, you're ready to pack your bags. And this took a hardcore training, manipulation of the human race in the past 200 years, that once I awoken from this, oh my God, it's like I don't look at anything the same way anymore. I can't look at anything the same way anymore. Whether it's entertainment, movies, sports, news, people, I just can't. Because once you come out of it, in a way, it's like being enlightened and having your third eye awakening without experiencing the real awakening. It's like I watched myself in the VR. Like right now I'm watching this VR, virtual reality goggles on me, of seeing the illusion around me. And I feel like, holy shit, I'm awake. And this is something that either you learn now or don't be in fear. Either you learn who you are now or do not be in fear. Because that is what you're going to be getting constantly then. And something which is going to be with you 24/7, then you cannot separate yourself from it. Then it's no longer fear. It is who you are. You are a product of fear. You are a product of this mass manipulation that has set you up for a perfect modern day slavery. I don't care which country you're in, what culture you come from, you are in modern day slavery. And this 7 years that you have till 2022 is like a goal. It's like this whirlpool is opening up. This 7 years, 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and then it's going to close back down. And this, the prison analysis, this is the gate opening up. Either you go into it right now or just be in the VR cubicle video game that you're in. Because this is your hard reality and you better wake up to it. But again, I'm going to say, for all the people who are watching this in their late 30s, early 40s and 50s, I mean, either you make a commitment to go through a transformation and make a commitment now, today, or pretty much accept the reality and just recycling yourself. Because when you come to me, when you listen to me, when you follow me, when you get consultation from me, I feel like you guys are looking for a magic pill. That I'm going to tell you something and tomorrow you're going to go and you'll be successful. If astrology was this way, I mean, we would be treated like gods. If astrology could give you a magic pill so profound that you're looking for, then there's no discussing, then there's no arguing. But that's not what astrology is. Astrology is like you're coming to a person with, like when you come to an astrologer, okay, you're coming to them with this map. You're like, okay, here's the map. Can you please show me the direction? So then you come to me. And I look at the map, which is like the birth chart. And I'm looking. I'm like, where are you trying to go? Oh, okay, you want to find your career destination. Okay, so, okay, well, see, you're going to take this highway and you're going to go here about 60 miles and then you make a left here. And then when you go for another 80 miles, that's where the destination is. That's what you're doing to me or to anybody else. But what you're thinking, what the notion everybody has, is that you're going to bring me a map and I'm going to open up this whirlpool like Doctor Strange with my magic thing. And I'm going to say, hey, here, step in. Ah, there's your destiny. There you go. All right. You're right there. Thank you. That's what you want. That's what you all are looking for that. Like, here, show me where's my career, where's my destiny. Oh, okay. So can you open up a whirlpool now so I can get there right now? So I can just do it now? And I'm just looking at you like, you're crazy? Because you have to get in the car, drive 60 miles, make a left, go another 80 miles on that road to reach your destination. That means what? It's going to take time. It's going to take effort. It's going to take energy. And then, if you're not satisfied with this, then what happens? You go to another person with your map. And they say, well, you know, this is the road. And what I can do is I can show you a bullet train that goes there. And you'll get there really fast. They're like, okay, where's the bullet train? They're like, okay, well, for that, you're going to have to buy the ticket, right? You have to buy this gemstone. So you wear all these gemstones. You have to go out there and do this puja. And that's your train. That's your bullet train to success. And then you're doing that. And the amount of money, energy you put in to find that bullet train that doesn't exist, in that same while, you could have been at your destination right now as I speak. So, all the people, and especially now, huge transformation is going to happen to people. Because remember, not only the ascension process is going on right now, not only Saturn after so long came into Scorpio to bring chaos and change, but at the same time we are in transition from one yuga to the other, from Kali Yuga to Drapa Yuga. So all of these things that are happening, this is the most magical time you're living in, and you cannot truly 100% enjoy this time if you're going to be shackled into the chain of modern day slavery. You can't. So I'm here to again tell you that either wake up now or sleep forever. You'll be much better sleeping in that water-filled tube like in the Matrix. You'll be much better off than waking up and then not doing anything. Waking up and just sitting next to your tub. Like, okay, well, something will happen. Because then there's no point of waking up if you're not going to be moving, taking action, going out there, meeting others. So that's a hardcore ascension energy update for you. Okay. So guys, if you are new to my channel, subscribe below. Again, if you want career consultation or any of my astrological reading, my books, for that, check out the links here. Otherwise, I'm going to see you tomorrow or maybe the day after tomorrow on Nakshatra Padha's video. Okay? Bye-bye.